Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nabila Binti Abdul Razak with Matric number 2219834. I am honored to be standing in front of all of you to make a presentation on a book I had read recently, which is Revitalizing Higher Education in the Muslim World, a case study of the International Islamic University Malaysia IIUM. The reason I wanted to share this particular book is because I believe the message conveyed in it can be beneficial for all of us, for especially Muslims that strive to be a better person both in the world and for the hereafter. Firstly, before I delve deeper into the book, let me tell you about the biography of the author. This book was published in 2007 in London, Washington by Abdul Hamid Abu Sulayman. He was a distinguished contemporary scholar with a deep commitment to advancing the Muslim Ummah. Throughout his career, he has remained steadfast in his vision of reforming Islamic education to better serve the needs of the community and for the broader world. He was recognized as the pioneer and a key member of the International Institute of Islamic Thought (IIIT) as the president. And this institution has made significant contributions to research on the Islamization of knowledge. His work at the IIIT has been instrumental in bridging the gap between traditional Islamic teachings and also contemporary intellectual thoughts. He once served as the second rector of the International Islamic University Malaysia IIUM for a decade from 1989 until 1999. During this time, he demonstrated visionary leadership, fostering academic excellence and creating an environment that encouraged scholarly engagement with both Islam and modern disciplines. Known for his humility and calm demeanor by the others, Abdul Hamid Abu Sulayman was also an accomplished author. His numerous works delve deeply into the important subjects within Islamic thought, including Islamic theory of economics and apostasy, Islam, and freedom of faith. Throughout his life, Abdul Hamid Abu Sulayman dedications to reforming Islamic education and advancing the intellectual and spiritual development of the Muslim Ummah has remained as an enduring legacy. So now we will be entering about the book. Abdul Hamid Abu Sulayman argues that revitalizing higher education is crucial for the Muslim world's progress. On page 10, he writes, "The Ummah continues to be lost in its division and to live in the darkness of the superstition, and that Muslims seems to have lost their vision." This statement reflects the reality that, in many ways, the Muslim community has strayed far from the initial teachings of Islam. He also emphasizes the need for the Islamization of knowledge as a process that seeks to integrate religious and secular approaches in order to achieve a more comprehensive understanding of the world. This method allows for a creation of an educational system that is not only rooted in the Islamic value but also equipped to address contemporary challenges. Now, the International Islamic University Malaysia served as a successful case study in this regard. How so? Because the dual major system that the university used, which combines secular and Islamic teachings, stands as a model for how education can bridge the gap between the two realms, providing students with a well-rounded education. Abdul Hamid Abu Sulayman stresses the importance of reforming or revitalizing education to confront the issues of underdevelopment in many Islamic countries. By doing so, the ultimate goal of achieving the civilization of the Ummah can also be realized. Thus, the main focus in his work revolves around the issue currently confronted by the Ummah, particularly the imitation of Western system and the distortion of the Islamic teachings, as well as the solution on how to handle them. Now, the first main point that I will be talking about is the imitation of the Western system of education by many Muslim countries, intentionally or unintentionally, without considering the unique characteristics or values of Islamic civilization, in which this creates a significant disconnect. As most Western countries are not primarily Islamic, their approach to education lacks the distinctiveness of Islam and does not align with our foundational unity. This results in an education system that does not fulfill the true objectives of Islam, which is to create a successful Islamic society in both this world and the hereafter. As emphasized in the point made on page 9 of the book, Islamic achievements on earth are not the ultimate goal, but they are merely tools to achieve something far more important, which is the subjugation to the most merciful. Next, to the second point is the distortion of Islamic thought. Islam has encouraged the pursuit of knowledge from both divine sources such as Al-Quran and also the human sources. However, through historical and cultural influences, many aspects of Islamic teaching have been skewed. As mentioned on page 6, the exclusion and isolation of active scholars led to the destruction and distortion of the Ummah's educational future. For example, the author used the concept of jihad, which now has been misinterpreted into mere precedents and contract rulings in the word of Abdul Hamid Abu Sulayman himself. However, the broader meaning of jihad actually encompasses striving righteousness in aspect of life that also involve effort, activity, and also earthly pursuits. These misunderstandings not only hinder but also refrain the Ummah's progress on a variety of fields nowadays, such as economic, sciences, and politics, because they thought it is not considered as a jihad in the eyes of Allah SWT, which is actually not true. Now, how do we tackle these issues? Abdul Hamid Abu Sulayman has mentioned in his book, has proposed a few solutions to this crisis, in which he declared to approach our education in a way that combine and incorporate both divine and human sources into one. The author used IIUM as his case study places to prove that Islamization of knowledge is actually viable to be applied among the Ummah, and especially for us students who plays the largest role for the future of our religion, Islam. Because in this university, there is actually several unique approaches that is currently being exercised. The first unique approaches is the use of double major system, whereas students who took human science subjects are obligated to include minor of Islamic subjects. Currently, I am undertaking English subject that fall under the category of human sciences. Hence, I have to take subjects like Arabic, jurisprudence, and ethics as my minor courses, and also vice versa. Plus, it is also required for all students to take knowledge and civilization in Islam as one of their core subjects, no matter what course you already took. Here we can see how IIUM stresses cruciality of balancing between these two topics to instill both Islamic and secular teachings. My second point is that regarding the proficiency in Arabic and English languages, in addition to our mother tongue Malay, especially for the Malay students. This is evident on how they conducted English and Arabic proficiency tests before one can be listed as the university's student. In page 23, the author explicitly mentioned that another purpose of including those languages are so that it can serve as an effective tools of communication between Muslims, further enable us to spread our words across the globe. Now, as that is my last point, to conclude my presentation, we can see the way Abdul Hamid Abu Sulayman cared about the future of Islam in gaining the right knowledge, as he analysed the obstacles Muslims face in gaining the right knowledge, by using IIUM as the model for other institutes to integrate secular and religious teaching in the syllabus. In addition, the author also added that it is imperative for higher up peoples to take charge in reforming the education by putting more importance in religious syllabus, simultaneously reforming as ummah's knowledge and intellect. So I think that is all. That is the end for my presentation on the book Revitalizing Higher Education in Muslim World by Abdul Hamid Abu Sulayman. Thank you, everyone.